Vladimir Putin is often seen as an antagonist and a source of political tension among global powers. There were even rumors that the Obama administration had a plan to assassinate him after he named Russia a threat to the world in a UN speech. Since then, US-Russia relations have smoothed over, for the most part. Russia is still blamed by many for allegedly interfering in the 2016 US presidential election that made Donald Trump president. So what would happen if Vladimir Putin was assassinated? Would it be bad? Would it be good? That's exactly what we're going to talk about right now on Life's Biggest Questions. Welcome back to LBQ. I'm Charlotte Dobre. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more. Russian President Vladimir Putin has been a powerful Russian politician for almost 2 decades. He was Prime Minister from 1999 to 2000, President from 2000 to 2008, Prime Minister again from 2008 to 2012, and since 2012 he's been the President. His administration is rumored to be extremely corrupt. Putin is said to have amassed an estimated $28 billion through kickbacks from projects like Russian real estate, shady deals, and the Sochi Winter Olympics. Unlike an American president, Putin moves freely among the people. He's often spotted in public, mingling among them. This makes him an easy target of a possible assassination. The fact is, there's already been 7 assassination attempts on Vladimir Putin, all unsuccessful. One assassination attempt by Ivan Zaitsev was said to be a retaliation for the Russian police brutally murdering his brother. For the most part, Putin is beloved by the Russian people, and in the event he is assassinated, we would likely see him glorified by the masses. Parades would take place in the streets, and he even may be placed in the mausoleum on the Red Square. Kremlin Deputy Chief of Staff Volodin once said there is no Russia if there is no Putin, and many have said that if Putin dies, Russia will collapse. But let's look at the facts. One would assume that if Vladimir Putin were assassinated, the Prime Minister, Dmitry Medvedev, would become acting president until elections are held. But that likely isn't the case. In fact, Medvedev is seen as a weak figurehead among the Kremlin. According to Gleb Palovsky, a former Kremlin spin doctor, if Putin were to vanish from the political scene, either through his death or any other circumstances, it is extremely unlikely that the constitution would be observed to the letter of the law. If Putin were assassinated, there would likely be a struggle for power among the Kremlin elite. Since Putin became president in 2012, the corruption network has expanded. If there is a struggle for power, the Kremlin would fight internally over the role of president, and that could result in large-scale protests and possibly even a Russian civil war. One person in power is at the root of Russia's corrupt political system. It's been that way for many years, and it will likely stay that way. Corruption isn't only a problem in Russia, it's now a way of life. According to a 2011 report by Russian opposition figures, corruption has paralyzed the country's social and economic life. The annual turnover of corruption in Russia now stands at $300 billion. But if you remove Putin from the equation, things could get even worse. The person who would follow Putin would likely tighten their grasp even more, and the result is an even stronger authoritarian system. His successor could be someone like the Chechen leader Ramzan Kadyrov, who has been accused of many human rights abuses, like murder, abduction, and torture. If Putin were assassinated, there's also the question of retaliation. The assassination of a political leader has devastating consequences. It could be seen as an act of war. Let's assume it's the United States government that succeeds in assassinating Putin. Relations between the two countries would obviously become strained. But what if it was someone within the Kremlin who succeeded in assassinating Putin? Or what if the shady dealings and rumored murders by the Kremlin result in a retaliation from within Russia? In short, what if all the corruption he's created ends up being Putin's demise? That sounds a lot like a topic for another Life's Biggest Questions. I'm Charlotte Dobre. Don't forget to like this video, share it with a friend, and subscribe to Life's Biggest Questions for all of your answers.